This has been a request for a fair long while now. If you don't know, this is a series that's been ongoing for probably going on a year now, where I basically draw maps of US states, and I think this might be like the 16 or 17 now. But Minnesota has been a request for a very long time, and I've said that I was going to honour it for a very long time, and now finally today I get to do that. So I hope you're all excited to get going. I had a little bit of a apprehension as to how I was going to do this because it's a bit of a strange shape, but I think actually I think it's probably easier to draw it this way, because it is a state where it is taller than it is wide, which isn't necessarily typical for US states, certainly the ones that I've drawn. I don't know that we've done many that are that way, but I think it is best that I do it this way, because I think I would have to squash it a little bit to make it fit better on a landscape page. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't use my words then. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reach a little bit to get all the way up the top here. But yeah, let's get going, shall we? So we have a nice straight line. Always happy when I get to do a straight line, because it's literally impossible to mess up. I'm gonna love getting to draw a map of Colorado because it is literally just a square. I'm really looking forward to that one. So, I wanted to say thank you. I feel like that's all I do at the start of these videos, but you guys continue to outshine yourselves. The last video that we did got a really positive reaction. Okay, sorry, just had to concentrate for a second. The last video we did had a really positive reception, and you guys really seem to enjoy it. And we've actually got quite a few new subscribers. I mentioned I made a big deal out of it at the time about getting to 1,000 subs, but yeah, you guys have been amazing recently and really supportive, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. You guys probably are sick of hearing me say that, but it really does mean a lot to me, and I do want to keep saying it because I never want people to forget how much it means even to just watch, you know. For me that's the main thing, but then for people to subscribe is super cool as well, so thank you. So this is a fairly easy side. We do have a little jut there, but then this is a straight line. That's not bad, right? And then this is a straight line. All the way across the bottom. I want to this, I have to keep checking that I've got the perspective right. So we're going in further here. You know what? I am pretty darn happy with that. It's kind of that way a little bit, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like because of the angle that I'm drawing at, it has come that way a little bit, but like you get the point from top to bottom. It is straight. It's all one way. I hope you understand. So yeah. Right. So as always, the first thing we're going to do is cities. So as to not get it wrong like I do sometimes, I looked up because I saw that these two cities were very close together. One of them being the biggest city and the other one being the state capital. And I've seen in a lot of things they are referred to as, they're referred to in the same breath, sort of, if that makes sense. So I believe they are linked, and I'm going to do the one that has the largest population and the one that I'd heard of first. Which is Minneapolis. And then here we have the state capital of St. Paul. Now I have seen that it's all one metropolitan area, and I've seen it being referred to as the Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area, which to me says that they're kind of it in terms of like area, it overlaps, so it's kind of the same place, but they are distinct, and St. Paul is the state capital, whereas Minneapolis is the largest city in the state. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that I made that distinction, because in previous times I haven't necessarily made it clear where that is the case. So yeah. Then down here, about here, we have somewhere, I've seen this place name in a few other states as well, and it is a place in the UK as well, Rochester. Then about here, we have what I think is a very cool place name. St. Cloud. Which was the other one I wanted to add? Okay, what I wanted to add was up here. I think it's about here. Now, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce this. My would say Duluth, but it could be like Duluth or Duluth. I think Duluth sounds the most plausible to me, but again, I've never really been good at guessing these, so I could be, completely wrong with that. Another place that was mentioned a lot when I was reading up was just under here. There's a place called Bloomington, which again, same deal with these two. I'm not sure whether it is technically classed as a separate, city, or whether it's just a part of Minneapolis. But I believe it has one of, if not the largest malls, or like it has the Mall of America, something like that. But yeah, again, as I said, I'm not too sure whether it is its own city or whether it is part of Minneapolis. Just because of the fact that it's already very congested here, I'm going to leave it out. But just if Bloomington is a place, if it is its own separate city technically, then I do apologise. But yeah, it's here. It's just left of St. Paul and just under Minneapolis. And then I don't necessarily know how big this place is, but just here, I just wanted to add something. I always like to have a little bit of representation across the whole map. So there's a place over here called Moorhead. Again, not sure how big it is, but yeah, you get the idea. Let's do. All the way up to the very northeast corner of the state boundary is what I believe is the largest lake in the world, or at least the largest freshwater lake in the world, I think. Lake Superior. One of the Great Lakes, the biggest of the Great Lakes, and I don't know if it's the biggest lake. I don't know whether I just thought that because it was the biggest of the Great Lakes that it might be the biggest in the world. I don't know for sure if that's true. I know it's the biggest of the Great Lakes. But again, yeah, I could be completely off base with that, so let me know down below. Speaking of lakes, one of the interesting parts about this state is how many lakes it has. It's known as the state of 10,000 lakes, or something along those lines, because of how many lakes it has in it. So there's a couple that I wanted to add, because they are quite large, so I think to omit them would be, it wouldn't be representative of the map and of the state. So there's one right up at the top here, on the border with Canada. It actually has a cool name. I hope you can see this. That is the Lake of the Woods. Then a little bit further south, it's about level with the corner here, so this is technically 2 lakes. Oh, I don't know why I did a lowercase e there. So that's the upper and lower Red Lake. It's about here. It's a bit larger actually, a bit like that. That's the mill. Lax. Lacs. Mill Lax. Like, I do not know how to pronounce that. I do apologise if that was wrong. So coming out from the border here, going through Minneapolis, St. Paul, then it goes up and down, not down, but more across and through St. Cloud. All the way like that. We have a river that has featured prominently several times, and I think probably the most famous river in the US. SSI. I believe that's right. Well, that's the Mississippi River. And then all the way up in the top right here, we love a mountain on this channel. So yeah, that is Eagle. I'm just gonna have to put MTN because I've not got no space. That is Eagle Mountain, which is 2,000. Actually, we do meters first, don't we? Normally. So 701 meters, which is 2,301 feet. Okay. So, what else have we got? Oh yeah, we have to do the surrounding states. house in order. Right, yes. So, what we normally do is like try and denote where the borders just outside of the, the state in question, just outside those borders, what we have surrounding. So up here we have Canada. Over here is Wisconsin. Then we have South Dakota. And then, you're not going to believe this, North Dakota. So, yeah, I believe. I think that might just about be that. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Sorry. I forgot Iowa down here. My bad, guys. My bad. Sorry, that was off screen as well. Iowa down there. So, what is... I'm going to use this blue, this light blue, to draw, to write rather, the name. I think it's fitting because obviously there's a lot of water, but then also it's quite a cool colour, and I've always known, one of the things I knew about Minnesota before I looked anything up is that it's very cold up there, especially in the winter. I mean, everywhere's cold in the winter, I guess, but Minnesota especially. And I know that I know a tiny bit about it because of Big Time Rush on Nickelodeon. Those guys were from Minnesota in the show. That's not too bad, right? Yeah, the guys from Big Time Rush were in Minnesota. So yeah, like I said, that was all I knew about it, was that it was cold. From looking at it, as I say, what I found out was that it was, I did not know how much water was in this state. There's a really considerable proportion of the landmass is covered by water. I also didn't realise how big it was in terms of size, its area. It's, I think, the 12th largest state in the US, I think. I didn't really appreciate how big it actually was. And how big this Minneapolis metropolitan area is as well. It's a very, very large metropolitan area. So, yeah, it's stuff that I didn't really know or appreciate before before I did my research for this for this video. I also didn't know that Bob Dylan was from Minnesota. That's also something I didn't know. Famous, singer-songwriter, a rock and roll guy. Yeah, I did not know that he was from Minnesota, so that's very interesting. But yeah, I think with that, would say this is one of the better ones I've done recently. Not to say that the other ones were bad, but I'm happy with how this one turned out. So yeah, I don't think there's much else to do or say really. If you've enjoyed, please let me know down below. As always, I always like the conversation in the comments, so let me know what you thought. And then also, let me know what you would like to see next. As I said at the start, this is a request, or this was a request. So, when people tell me that they want to see something, that then gets my research going, and if I find it to be interesting enough, then yeah, for sure I will do a video on it, because I like being able to give you guys representation for what you want to see, and then also it's just interesting for me to go and look up and learn new things about places that I didn't know things about before. So yeah, with that said, I really hope you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing if you made it this far and you aren't already. As I say, we just got over 1,000, but we're trying to push on now, and and get some more. So yeah, please consider that if you would like. But with that said, thank you ever so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Good night, everyone.